Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsan ila yawmiddin. So we gonna continue from where we stopped in our last class concerning that anyone who follow Allah and His Prophet, Allah the glorified, we grant them paradise, and this is the greatest of all sources. So I'm gonna read through the matnu, then I will give the explanation according to what the scholars have said. For those who obey Allah, the glorified, and follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, their reward is that they will be going to Jannah. So the muallif, the scholar who wrote the book, Sheikh Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab, alayhi rahimahullah, he said in his book, وَمَنْ عَصَاهُ دَخَلَ النَّارَ وَدَلِيلُ قَوْلُهُ تَعَالَى إِنَّا أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْكُمْ رَسُولًا شَاهِدًا عَلَيْكُمْ كما أرسلنا إلى فرعون رسولا فعصى فرعون رسولا فأخذناه أخذا وبيلا. This can be found in Surah Muzammil. الثانية أن الله لا يرضى أن يشرك معه أحد في عبادته، لا ملك مقرب ولا نبي مرسل، ودليل قوله تعالى وأن المساجد لله فلا تدعوا مع الله أحدا. الثالثة أن من أطاع الرسول ووحد الله ولا يجوز موالة من حاد الله ورسوله ولو كان أقرب قريب، ودليل قوله تعالى لا تجد قوما يؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر يوادون من حاد الله ورسوله ولو كانوا آباءهم أو أبناءهم أو إخوانهم أو عشيرتهم أولئك كتب في قلوبهم الإيمان وأيدهم بروح منه ويدخلهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه أولئك حزب الله ألا إن حزب الله هم المفلحون. So we can also find this in Surah Al-Mujadalah. So I'm going to start with the explanation of the Sharih, the scholar who gave explanation to this book, Sheikh Saleh Al-Uthaimeen alayhi rahimahullah. وَمِنْ قَوْلِهِ, he started with this saying, وَمِنْ قَوْلِهِ, from the sayings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, كُلُّ أُمَّتِي يَدْخُلُونَ لِجَنَّةَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَبَى. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasallam said all of his ummah, all of his nation will enter into paradise except those who denied. فَقِيلَ, it was said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَمَنْ يَأْبَى يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ, who are those who denied, O Prophet of Allah? Said, مَنْ أَطَاعَنِي دَخَلَ الْجَنَّةِ وَمَنْ عَصَانِي دَخَلَ النَّارِ. Said, anyone who follows me will enter into Jannah, and anyone who denies me, who denies the message of the Prophet ﷺ, anyone who stay away from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, or deny the Sunnah or the way of the Prophet ﷺ, دَخَلَ النَّارِ. Such individual will enter into hellfire. May Allah save us from this. This can be found in the Sahih of Imam al-Bukhari. So he said, هذا أيضا حق مستفيد من قول الله تعالى. He said, again, we can benefit from the sayings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to buttress the point that anyone who follows the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will enter into Jannah, and anyone who denies the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will enter into hellfire. Allah the Glorified said in this verse, وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَيَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَهُ يُدْخِلُهُ نَارًا خَالِدًا فيها وله عذاب مهين. Allah the Glorified, he said, وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, and anyone who denied Allah or disobey Allah and His Prophet, وَيَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَهُ, and go beyond the limit set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, يُدْخِلُهُ النَّارَ, Allah will make him to enter into hellfire. خَالِدًا فِيهَا, he will be in the hellfire for life. وَلَهُ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ, and he will be facing a painful torment. In another verse, Allah the Great said, وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا مُبِينًا. In Surah Al-Ahzab, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in this verse that anyone who disobeys Allah and His Prophet, فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا مُبِينًا, such an individual is in a plain misguidance. There are so many verses to back this up. If you want to read so many verses in the Quran that it is telling us, pointing us towards following and obeying Allah the Prophet, and that is warning us against going beyond the limits set by Allah and disobeying the commandment of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ومن قوله في الحديث سابق, he said, the scholar, he said, As for what is written in the previous hadith, وَمَنْ عَصِيرْ دَخَلَ وَمَنْ عَصَانِي دَخَلَ النَّارِ, that anyone who denies the Prophet ﷺ will enter into a fire. Now we have to move to the second mas'ala, the second matter. أي مسألة ثانية, in the second matter, مما يجب علينا, from what is compulsory upon us, علمه, to know about أن Allah, that very Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, لا يرضى أن يشرك معه, Allah does not want us to join anything with him. في عبادته أحد, in worship with him, Allah does not want us to join anything with him. بل هو وحده المستحق, but nay, Allah is the one who is only worthy of worship. لعبادته, in his worship. وَدَلِيلُ ذَلِكَ مَا ذَكَرَهُ الْمُؤَلِّفُ, the proof can be found in what the author of the book said, rahimahullah, may Allah be pleased with him, في قوله, in his saying, where he said, وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ, where he said, well, verily, وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ, that verily the masajid are for Allah. فَلَا تَدِعُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا, and it is not right to call anyone beside him. فَنَهَى اللَّهُ تَعَالَى أَنْ يَدْعُوا الْإِنسَانَ مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade mankind to worship any other thing with him. Anything, we shouldn't worship any other thing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahu la yanha an shay'in, Allah will not forbid anyone from anything, illa wa huwa la yardahu subhanahu, except that Allah is not pleased with such thing. فقال الله عز وجل, Allah the glorified said, in takfuru, if you disbelieve, فإن الله غني عنكم, Allah is sufficient above you. Allah is sufficient. If you disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is self-sufficient. He does not need your help. Allah does not make it that if you don't worship him, you won't be able to survive. We are the one who are faqir. We are the poor slaves of Allah. We are the one that if we don't follow the commandment of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to punish us. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is self-sufficient from his being. وَلَا يَرْضَ لِعِبَادِهِ الْكُفْرَ, Allah does not want from his slaves kufra, disbelief. وَإِن تَشْكُرُوا يَرْضَهُ لَكُمْ, and if you are thankful to him, he will be pleased with you. You can find in Surah Az-Zumar. Allah the Glorified also said, فَإِن تَرْضُوا عَنْهُمْ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَرْضَى عَنْ الْقَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ, and if you are pleased with them, if you are pleased with the kuffar, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ, verily Allah the Glorified, لَا يَرْضَى عَنِ الْقَوْمِ الْفَاسِقِينَ, Allah is not pleased with the transgressors from his slaves. فَالْكُفْرُ وَالشِّرْكِ لَا يَرْضَهُ اللَّهُ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى. He said, and فَالْكُفْرُ وَالشِّرْكُ, for disbelief is kufr, and shirk is joining partners with Allah the Glorified. لَا يَرْضَهُ اللَّهُ سُبْحَانَهُ, Allah does not want it from, but Allah does not want it, does not want us to do kufr. Kufr is the like of atheism. People who deny the existence of God, that's kufr. And shirk is that someone believes there is God, but he is still worshipping others with God. Both are forbidden. Both will make the individual who falls into them to end in hellfire. May Allah save us from hellfire. بَلْ إِنَّمَا أَرْسَلَ رُسُلًا, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us his prophet, وَأَنزَلَ الْكِتَابِ لِمُحَارَبَةِ الْكُفْرَ, and he gave us book لِمُحَارَبَةِ, to wage war against kufra, to wage war against disbelief, وَشِرِكَ, and joining partners with him. وَالْقَضَاءُ عَلَيْهِمَا, and he made a judgment, Allah made ruling upon these two. Allah made a ruling upon disbelief and joining others with him. وَقَالَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى, Allah the Glorified, he said, وَقَاتِلُوهُمْ حَتَّى لَا تَكُونَ فِتْنَةٌ وَيَكُونَ الدِّينُ كُلُّهُ لِلَّهِ, he said, and fight against them حَتَّى لَا تَكُونَ فِتْنَةٌ, to the extent that there won't remain any fitna, any kind of trial, the fitna there, وَيَكُونَ الدِّينُ كُلُّهُ لِلَّهِ, and the only thing that will remain is that all of the religion is only for Allah. So this is a refutation for those who said the Quran or the Islam is not only about Allah, it's also about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is a clear refutation. وَيَكُونَ الدِّينُ كُلُّهُ لِلَّهِ, it is not وَيَكُونَ الدِّينُ كُلُّهُ لِلَّهِ وَرَسُولُهُ, and even if it comes with لِلَّهِ وَرَسُولُهُ, it simply means that when you follow Allah the Glorified, when you follow the Prophet ﷺ, you are following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we have to know the meaning of ibadah, the meaning of worship. وَإِذَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لَا يَرْضَى بِالْكُفْرِ, if it happens that Allah is not pleased with kufra, disbelief, بِالْكُفْرِ وَالشِّرْكِ, and joining others with him, فَإِنَّ وَاجِبَ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِ, it is a must for a mu'min أَلَّا يَرْضَى بِهِمَا, not to be pleased with both. A Muslim shouldn't be pleased with disbelief or joining others with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لأن المؤمن, is said for there, because the mu'min رضاه وغضبه تبع رضا الله وغضبه, is said because for the Muslim, him being pleased or being enraged or being angry towards anything should only be by following, by loving, by being pleased with something for Allah's sake, and being angry or being enraged with anything for Allah's sake. فَغَضِبَ لِمَّا يَغْضَبُ اللَّهُ, that فَيَغْضَبُ لَمَّا يَغْضَبُ اللَّهُ, and he will be angry, will be enraged when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is angry. وَيَرْضَ بِمَا يَرْضَهُ اللَّهُ, and he will be pleased with anything which Allah is pleased with, Azza wa Jal, the glorified. وَكَذَلِكَ, and again, إِذَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لَا يَرْضَ بِالْكُفْرَ, if Allah is not pleased with disbelief, وَلَا شِرْكَ, and is not pleased with worshiping other with him, فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَلِيكُ بِمُؤْمِنٍ أَن يَرْضَ بِهِمَا. So it is not right for a Muslim, a mu'min, to be pleased with both. وَالشِّرْكَ أَمْرٌ خَطِيرٌ, he said, and disbelief is a very dangerous matter. قال الله عز وجل, the glorified said about being worshipping others with him, it's a very dangerous matter. Allah the glorified said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ, that verily Allah, لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ, he won't be pleased by joining others with him. وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ, but he will be pleased but with what is different from this with anyone whom he so wishes. He is going to forgive anything. Allah will not forgive joining others with him, but he will surely forgive anything that is different from this. That doesn't give us the right to commit sins. No, so it's just telling us how merciful Allah is, because we don't know what's going to happen. This kind of we find in Surah An-Nisa. وَقَالَ تَعَالَى, Allah the glorified also said, إِنَّهُ مَنْ يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ, for verily anyone who joins others with Allah, فَقَدْ حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ الْجَنَّةَ, Allah has made it forbidden for such individual to enter into paradise. وَمَأْوَاهُ النَّارِ, and the end of such individual is hellfire. وَمَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ مِنْ أَنصَارٍ, and no one is going to help the evildoers. The evildoers won't find anyone to help them against Allah the glorified. وقال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام, the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام also said in a narration, من لقي الله لا يشرك به شيئا دخل الجنة, anyone who meet Allah and not joining anything in worship with him, with Allah the glorified, he will enter into Jannah. ومن لقيه يشرك به شيئا, and anyone who meets Allah by joining others with him, دخل النار, so should be going to hellfire. So let's move to the third matter. From the third matter that is compulsory upon us is al-walahu wal-bara. Al-walahu wal-bara, which means mutual relationship and freeing ourselves. We have to have mutual relationship for Allah's sake, and we have to free ourselves from any other thing for Allah's sake. So this is a very great concept in Islam. The Sharih, the scholar who give explanation to the book, he said, al-wala wal-bara aslu azim. Aslu azim. He said al-wala wal-bara is a very great fundamental. جاءت به النصوص فيه النصوص, because it came in nusus from the Quran. Nusus is narrations, so we can use nusus for the verses of the Quran. كثيرة, so many verses of the Quran يعني تدل كثير من الآيات القرآن إلى الولاء والبراء. So many verses of the Quran is pointing us towards mutual relationship and freeing ourselves for Allah's sake. Allah the Glorified said in this verse, يا أيها الذين آمنوا, O you believe, لا تتخذوا بطانة من دونكم, don't take as mutual folks, mutual friends, those who are outside your religion, لا يألونكم خبالا, because they don't care introducing you to what is forbidden. They don't care corrupting you. لا يألونكم خبالا, they don't care corrupting you. So you have to free yourself from them. Allah the Great also said in another verse, يا أيها الذين آمنوا, O you believe, لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى, do not take the Jews and the Christians, أولياء بعضهم أولياء بعض, they are intimate friends of each other, they are friends folks to each other. ومن يتوله منكم فإنه منهم, and if you should take them as a sole advisor, then you are one of them. إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين, for very Allah does not like evildoer. Allah also said, the Great also said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الذين اتخذوا دينكم هزوا ولعبا. Allah the Great also said, O you believe, do not take those who take your religion as something of play and amusement. من الذين أوتوا الكتاب, from the people of the book. من قبلكم, those who came before you, والكفار, and the disbelievers. أولياء, do not take them as the sole advisor, don't take them as intimate advice, don't seek advice, don't take them as someone whom you seek advice from. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ فِي اللَّهِ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ, if you are believers. Allah also said about taking those who are outside our religion as our intimate friends. That doesn't mean we should be good towards them. So this is what some people don't, the concept some people do make mistakes about. We have to be good towards them in terms of mu'amalat, the normal human to human relationship. We have to hold that firm in terms of relating with them in affairs of this world, by not harming them, by not lying upon them, or by not lying to them. And if they want anything from us, a good advice from us, we should give them the good advice. So we have to relate with them in such way. But when it comes to matters of our religion, then we have to free ourselves from their belief. But in terms of any other thing, in terms of helping them in other things, we have to do this. There's nothing wrong in this. Allah also said this verse is directing us towards the life of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah the Great Faith, he said, قَدْ كَانَتْ لَكُمْ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ فِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Allah the Great Faith said, it is known, a lesson is for you, a way of life, a guided way of life is for you in the life of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. وَالَّذِينَ مَعَهُ, and those who are with him, those who believe in Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. إِذْ قَالُوا, when they said لِقَوْمِهِمْ, to their people, إِنَّا verily we بُرَاءُ مِنْكُمْ, we are free from you. وَمِمَّا تَعْبُدُونَ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ, and we are free from those things you worship with Allah the Glorified. كَفَرُنَا بِكُمْ, we disbelieve in you. وَبَدَا بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَكُمُ الْعَدَاوَةِ, and we have started, like there's enmity, the enmity have started between you and we. وَالْبَغْضَاءُ, and we disagree with you. أَبَدًا, that we are enraged with you for life. We don't agree with you in any way. حَتَّى تُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَحْدَهُ, till you all believe in تُؤْمِنُونَ billahi wahdah, till you all believe in Allah alone. This can be found in Surah Mumtahinah. And in this surah, in the same chapter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us a lesson on how to relate with those who are outside our religion. That anyone who does not fight us or send us out of our home, then we should be gentle towards such individual and invite them to Islam. We have to be gentle towards them. That doesn't mean we agree with the disbelief with them. Walan, he said, now, mawalatu man, walanna mawalata, for verily, taking us mutual friend, man had Allah, those who oppose Allah, wa mudaratuhu tadullu ala anna fi qalbi al-insani man min al-iman billahi wa rasuli da'if. It's loving and taking as intimate friend those who oppose Allah shows that ما في قلبي, there is nothing left in the heart of mankind من الإيمان. What is left in the heart of mankind in terms of faith is what ضعيف, is weak. لأنه, because ليس من العقل, it is not from a sensitive approach. أن يحب الإنسان شيئا وهو عدو لمحبوبه. It is not sensible for an individual to love something that is an enemy to him. وموالة الكفار, and taking as intimate friend from the kuffar, تكون بمناصرتهم, it's showing that we are trying to help them على ما هم عليه من الكفر والضلال, but upon what they are upon from disbelief and misguidance. وموادتهم تكون بفعل الأسباب التي تكون بها مودتهم فتجده يودهم أي يطلب ودهم بكل طريق. And loving them, muwadda is greater than hubbu. Muwadda is, yes, it's love, but it's far greater than just love. It's kind of like intimate love, a deep love. وموادتهم تكون بفعل الأسباب, it's gonna be create a way التي تكون بها موادتهم فتجود يودهم أي يطلب ودهم بكل طريق. It's gonna open a way to the extent that we gonna love them upon any way they follow. وهذا لا شك ينافي الإيمان كله أو كماله. This, there is no doubt that this ينافي الإيمان. It's going to it's going to destroy or extinguish faith in full. It's gonna it's gonna remove Iman, faith from the heart of the mu'min. فالواجب على المؤمن, it is a must for a mu'min معادة من حاد الله ورسوله, to take as enemy whoever oppose Allah and the Prophet. ولو كان أقرب قريب إليه, no matter how close such individual is close to him. وبغضه والبعد عنهم, and you have to disagree and stay far from him. ولكن, he said, this is what I was trying to say earlier. ولكن, but this هذا لا يمنع نصيحته, this does not deny us from giving them a good advice. ودعوته إلى الحق, and calling them to the truth. So inshallah we're gonna continue from here. in our next class. وبه سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك. So inshallah, the next class, I'm going to start from اعلموا أرشدك الله لطاعته أن الحنيفية ملة إبراهيم أن تعبد الله وحده مخلصا له الدين. So we're gonna start from this in the next class inshallah. صلى محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا.